Hey there. So my next guest, another guest that I've had special permission to come on the show. Absolutely wonderful person. He's underage. He's 14, but he's a streamer. He's doing fantastic in school, and he owns his own business. This is an absolutely incredible guest. I know you all are going to love it. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest with us. I have Logan. Hey there, Logan. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How about you?
It's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. How about yourself?
Very sunny out here in Florida.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So, Logan, you're a little special because you're not considered an adult. And so I actually had to get special permission to have you on the show. Your dad's just off the camera at the moment, listening to every word we're saying. And so I like getting the show started right into it. So why don't you begin by just telling us a little bit about yourself and why you might be on the Gamerpreneur?
Well, I'm a 14-year-old new time streamer on Twitch, WolverineLAX, and I've been streaming for about 3-4 months now, gaining decent amount of viewers and just trying to play video games and just try to grow a name for myself.
Beautiful. Now, I want to talk about that, but I also know you own your own business, which is freaking awesome at your age. And we're going to talk about all that. However, I begin every interview with a single question. So I'm going to ask you, just like I ask everybody else, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you?
Probably a good 6 to 7.
I like that answer. Why is that?
I get very energetic and hyped up when I'm playing video games, but then there's also some times where I can just get very annoyed, and it's just always depending on what we're doing. It just always depends on the moment.
All right. That's a very succinct answer. Most people they don't have good answers like that. All right, so this is the Gamerpreneur, and before we get into any of the business stuff, I do have to get your gaming cred. So when did you first start playing video games?
Probably 4th grade. That's about 5 years ago.
Well, your parents or your dad right there in the back, he withheld you for so long, right? And I know he's a nerd himself. Yeah. Okay. So you started in 4th grade. What did you start playing? What got you into it?
So I got my first Xbox in 4th grade, but before that I was kind of on the Wii off and on with my dad every once in a while. But my first game was Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Okay. Seems a little extreme for a 4th grader. Okay. And how did your gaming kind of career go? From 4th grade to now, I'm assuming you continue to play games, right?
Yeah, I still do. And from here on out, I went from that and I played all the consecutive Call of Duties from there, starting to get into multiplayer instead of just touching on the campaign. I went more diverse. When Fortnite came out, I was playing that. I went towards Warzone. Now I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, CSGO, Sea of Thieves, Red Dead Redemption, all the new Call of Duties, and just trying to diverse my taste just try to diverse my taste in the games and just try to get a thing for everything.
Wow, lockdown's been really good for you, hasn't it? I have not had that much time. Okay. Beautiful. Well, what would you say is your favorite game of all time then?
Probably one of the Call of Duties. I can't really tell because it's just off and on depending on the day, but those were probably my favorite games as of right now because I just haven't had a better connection with those types of games.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's get over to the preneur part. So you're a streamer, but you also own your own business. Let's talk about the streaming first. What got you into that? When did you start?
So I got my first PC in about June of 2020, and then I kind of grew on just playing video games. And then I was talking. My dad found up a couple of people and asked if I wanted to start streaming in about September 2020. And then I kind of just stuck with it. And it was something that was just really fun. And I still do it today.
Cool. And what made you decide to do it other than it being cool? Was this a promotion effort, or was it just something that you wanted to pass the time under lockdown? What got you into it?
I've always kind of wanted to stream or do YouTube, because it's just something that's very popular, and I kind of wanted to just try it out myself, and I kind of just grew a liking for it over the time.
Wonderful. Okay. And you stream all those games you mentioned, correct?
Yeah, almost all of them.
Okay, cool. And how's that been going? You said you started roughly, I think you said June, and you've been growing well, you said. What happened? Like, how did that go?
So I went from about like 1 to 2 viewers and followers, those being me and my parents, into about 10 to 15 per stream, and about 60, 70 followers.
That's incredible. You know that you said 10 to 15 per stream. That puts you in the top 1% of all streamers, right?
Really?
That's incredible. Yeah. On Twitch, the numbers break down. Something like 80% get less than 5, and then another like 15% get less than 10. If you're above 10, you're rocking it, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, how has it been trying to treat your gaming as more of a business than just kind of a hobby?
Well, I'm always on trying to get better, or with my friends, just trying to get my rank up higher depending on what I'm playing. But yeah, I just try to solo queue in games and just try to play my heart out, make sure I can just do the best I can.
Beautiful. Okay. Now, what are your plans for it? Is this going to be like a long-term thing? You're going to like retire off this, make more money than your family ever could hope?
Well, I'm probably going to keep this as a long-term thing for right now because I really enjoy it. But who knows in the future? Maybe I'll grow it into a business with Longpole Life, or I'll just keep streaming for a while.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned Longpole Life. Please tell us about that.
So Longpole Life is a company that I started in about June also with my family. I came up with the idea because I'm a Longpole defender for my travel team, Stealth Lacrosse, down here in South Florida. And we're nationally ranked 24 in our age group. I just came up with an idea. My dad and I were talking, and I said, how about we do an apparel company called Longpole Life, or having to do with the position Longpole defense. And then it kind of just stuck. We talked to a bunch of graphic designers. We got the logo made right here. Life is better with the long pole is the new catchphrase for the company. And then we kind of just stuck with that, talking to a bunch of advertisement. And now we're here today with a bunch of viewers per month and doing pretty well in income.
Beautiful. And so you sell apparel. So t-shirts, hats, what all do you sell?
T-shirts, hats, the hoodie that I'm wearing right now in multiple different colors, bags, cups, face masks, and phone cases, Beautiful. And a little bit more.
And so again, you started that in June, and how's that been going?
It's doing pretty well. It's a little slow, but we're getting there.
Okay. And what are your plans for that in the future? Like, where's that going to go? I mean, you're 14 years old. Like, having any sort of business now with the safety net of your family, your parents, almost everybody who starts a business at your age, it takes off. So where's your plan this to go?
Well, if it keeps on the same track it's going, by the time I'm a little bit older, it should be doing very well. Or if it has like a very big increase, I should be doing great. And I'm just going to keep sticking with this until I can grow this as big as I can, and then one day retire.
Awesome. And do you think entrepreneurship is what you were meant to do, or like where are you going to go in your future?
I definitely thought I was going to be somewhere in the engineering or in the business community, because that's something I have a very strong connection to, and it just comes very natural to me. So I did think I was going to end up somewhere in the entrepreneurship. Okay.
Now, I can tell you when I was 14, I was playing video games as well. However, I was basically only playing video games. I wasn't starting businesses back then. And I don't think most 14-year-olds are either. So what makes you different? What makes you special or unique to be able to do this today?
Well, with the help of my parents and everything they've taught me, school also helped. There was a bunch of different clubs and programs that would help me out, including the engineering team, which helped with team building and ideas and coming up with ideas. There was also debate team. I did that for a little bit, and that kind of helped with everything. And then my dad's also teaching me a lot about like business and everything, so I can help grow the company. And that just try to help everything out.
Wonderful. Okay. And, it's been about 6 months since you started both your stream and your other business, Longpole Life. What do you wish you had known when you were first starting out?
how hard it was going to be to start out and everything I know today.
Well, what is that? What do you mean it was hard? Like, what made it hard?
Streaming was very difficult because it probably took 4 or 5 months to try to get affiliate. That was something I thought was going to come much easier than how it was. Okay. So if I just knew it was going to take a few more 4 to 5 streams instead of 2 to 3, it would have helped out a lot.
Okay. It always takes more than you think, and you're always going to get less than you think. What advice do you have for others? Maybe we'll start on the streaming side. You in this many months were able to do it. I've known people who didn't get affiliate for 8 years. So what advice do you have for people to be able to climb that hurdle?
If you enjoy it, just keep trying, and it's going to happen one day. It's something that happened somewhat easily for me because I just loved it and I kept trying to stick with it, and it was a very fun experience. You're going to make a lot of memories, and it's going to turn out great one day.
You are far too wise for your age. I had another, I think it was 15-year-old on before, and his answers were not like this. Okay. And on the business side, what advice do you have for, specifically people your age? Because, I wish I'd had parents who were more entrepreneurial, who had kind of encouraged me to do that. Mm-hmm. But even if I did, I still would have needed some advice because everybody needs kind of a mentor. Everybody needs that kind of push in the right direction. What advice do you have for starting like a business?
Kind of the same thing with streaming. It's hard. You got to get off your feet. You have to be able to put towards effort. It's something that it's not a solo type of thing. You're also going to need help with it. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to do this on my own. Oh, I'm going to do this without investment. You got to do something with it.
I love that. Okay. Where, you're going to hear this one going into the future. Okay. Anytime you go to an interview, they're going to ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm going to ask you as well.
Well, where I see myself in 5 years, hopefully either at Duke or Princeton, because those are my 2 dream schools. Great lacrosse programs, great schools, and I hope to see myself with streaming still there in my future, and or Longpole Life there, still growing and just still doing great.
Fantastic. Okay, Logan, what you're doing is absolutely incredible, and it sounds like it's kind of just taking off so much better than so many other people I've spoken to. But I don't want everybody to think that you're like a Superman. I don't want them to think that your dad's pulling all the strings and everything's fantastic. So I'd like to ask you, what do you consider your biggest failure, and considering how young you are in life, not necessarily in your business or in your stream, but what do you consider your biggest failure in life, and what did you learn from it?
Biggest failure. It's a hard question because I've made a bunch of mistakes in my past.
That's all right. You go keep thinking, and I'll kind of explain why I'm asking this while you're thinking about it. So I believe it's not necessarily our successes that teach us, it's our failures, because our successes, you might have done it without realizing what happened, right? But our failures, you pretty much always kind of figure out what went wrong, and it allows you to grow from it. It allows you to pick yourself up. I like to say, when life smacks you in the face and knocks you down, you have to figure out how to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and then be able to move forward. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm asking the question.
Okay, so stuff like school and lacrosse, starting out, I didn't really put towards a lot of effort, and that kind of was a big mistake, especially towards today with grades and my skill today. If I put more skill in with lacrosse, I could have been a much better player, or if I just had with school, if I put more effort in, my grades would have been a little bit higher than they are today. I'm very happy with my grades, straight A's, but I could have been higher with grades in the past.
Well, congratulations, rock on. You got straight A's and you're doing all this. This is incredible. How is the lockdown for you? How's the Rona been treating you and all that?
Towards the beginning of it was pretty good. School was still how it was. It was a little bit easier because we weren't able to do as much. Summer was very fun. It felt very long but short, playing a lot of video games, starting streaming, getting the PC, testing everything out, making sure I could play video games and all that. School came around. It was much harder than I thought because everything was more prepared, and I kind of went back to school every other day, which was a very good plus. So that month I got to see all my friends, and then kept streaming up and everything. And I feel like lockdown was great for me.
Beautiful. Okay. Kind of a related but mirror question to the failure question. What is something that you're working to improve on in yourself today?
I'm still working towards trying to be the best I can, putting forth 110% effort with school, lacrosse, streaming, and Longpole Life.
Beautiful. And what is something that people seem to misunderstand about you the first time they meet you, Logan?
Probably that some people don't know. To my perspective, I feel like I'm a very smart kid. And some people misunderstand that sometimes. And then once they get to know me, they understand who I am. And then how I'm driven to most stuff and just want to work for stuff. And if I like something, I'm going to stick with it.
All right. I love it. Anything else you want to talk about? Business, gaming?
No, not really.
Any shout outs you want to make? Any?
To my own Twitch, WolverineLAX.
All right. I love it. Okay. Logan, how do people find you? Without giving away too many personal details, on Twitch or on social media, how do people get to you and follow you?
Well, there's my Instagram, WolverineLAX, and then there's also Twitch, WolverineLAX, and I also have my Twitter, WolverineLAX, all connected. If you go to my Twitch, it's all there: Discord, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm forgetting the other one, but there is one more there, and that's on my social medias.
All right, I love it. Now, as we finish this up, last chance. Anything else you want to talk about, or anything I didn't ask that you think we still need to cover?
No, not off the top of my head. I feel like it was great, and I got a lot off.
Wonderful. All right, Logan, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I genuinely do appreciate this.
Thank you.
All right, and for everybody else, I'm going to remind you all: don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.